Hey guys, it's Shaun. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to take you through 5 art supplies that I think you should have when getting into drawing. So before you go ahead and drop $300+ on a drawing tablet, I think it's best that you learn the foundation first and foremost. So I made a list of 5 basic, inexpensive art supplies that I used when I started getting back into drawing. I've also drawn this using those art supplies to show you that you don't need the most expensive pencils or markers or paper or anything like that when you're just starting out. All right, so I'm just gonna let the speed drawing play in the background. And now just a little disclaimer, if you do any other kind of art, painting and digital art, what have you, these tools may differ a little bit, but these are the ones that I personally used when I was just starting out and getting back into my art journey. So let's get to this list. So the first thing I have on this list is obviously a pencil. You need a pencil, unless, like I said before, you're a painter or a digital artist or, whatever, tools are going to be different. But when you're drawing on paper, you're probably going to want to start with a pencil. You don't need, any special, H level pencils or anything like that. I just use a regular old a Bic mechanical pencil. It doesn't need to be perfect. It doesn't need to be the top of the line mechanical pencil with special leads or anything like that. You're just getting started. You just need something basic. You could use like those number 2 pencils, those big yellow pencils that you used in school as a kid, with the erasers on the end and stuff like that. But whatever you have that can get something on a page. So I just use a mechanical pencil. When I was in college, they gave us a sketchbook, they gave us a set of colored pencils, they gave us a set of the HB, H2, H, all those different H level graphite pencils, and that's what we used for that, and that's primarily what this list is based off of, because those are similar tools that I used getting back into my journey. But for the pencils, all I had were these Bic mechanical pencils, so that's what I used. So again, it's pretty cheap. You could go to like a dollar store and find a mechanical pencil, and there you have it, something to draw with. Number 2 on the list is obviously you need something to draw on. So paper or sketch pad. You could use U-sleeve notebook paper, no big deal. You just want to get some scribbles or doodles or sketches down on paper just to get that foundation. You don't need any crazy sketch pad or anything like that. I'm using Bristol paper for this, which I picked up from, I believe, Michael's Arts and Crafts store, but you could order it off Amazon and stuff like that. But when I was just starting, I had a little sketchbook that I bought from Target. It was before the tone tan, it was before the Bristol, just regular old printer paper works too. You could use your notebook paper as well, but just something to get the pencil on the paper and to get you, pushing that lead and getting something out. So you don't really need anything crazy. Just any old sheet of paper will do when you're just starting out. Number 3, colored pencils. Colored pencils is one of my favorite things to use. Now, obviously, a lot of artists you see on YouTube, they use alcohol markers. which is great. I love using alcohol markers. I use the Ohuhu ones because some of these alcohol markers out there get pretty pricey, especially Copic. Copic markers are pretty expensive. But when you're just starting out, you don't need any of that. Obviously, if you want to, go right ahead. It's just as good as colored pencils, but I like using colored pencils. Currently, I have Prismacolors, but those can get pretty expensive too. So, particularly for this drawing, I used Crazy Art. I know the pigment doesn't lay down as well as, your Polychromos or your Prismacolors or any of those top of the line colored pencil brands, but if you know what you're doing with a colored pencil, you can get it pretty good. If you know about shading and blending and all that kind of stuff and how to use a colored pencil the right way, you can get some pretty neat color tones and you can get it to lay down pretty well. It's not going to be the best, but try it. See for yourself. So I used Crazy Art. You can find those probably at Walmart, probably at the dollar store, CVS's, things like that. But they're cheap. It's something to get color on paper, and you could do just as good a job, as you would do with like a Prismacolor pencil. Next on the list, I have an inking pen. Now, I didn't really use ink too much in this particular drawing, just for the border around the Green Ranger image that I drew. But usually I like to, do the line work with a fine liner. I use the Sakura Micron pens, and I use those to do my line work. And a lot of comic artists and things like that, a lot of those people use fine liners just to get that nice inking, that nice line work in your piece and have it stand out from the page a little bit more. You don't always need to use a fine liner, but I like to use them. I didn't particularly use it too much in the overall piece here, but it's one of the things that I've been using since I got back into drawing late last year. And last but not least is a really good quality sharpener. Alright, so any sharpener will do. You can get, those ones that you put the pencil in and you turn it with your hand, those little guys. It's probably the cheapest to do that. But I use an electric sharpener, which was pretty inexpensive anyway. But you just want to get a nice sharpener that's going to sharpen color pencils well. The one that I have has this blade. It's called a helical blade. It just gets like a nice fine point in the pencil when you sharpen it, as opposed to those other sharpeners that really dig into the lead, and if your lead is too soft, you can end up breaking the tip while you're sharpening it. And with this electric sharpener, I really have never had that issue, and it really gets a nice fine deep point on your pencils. So a nice electric sharpener, you can find them for cheap on Amazon. That it'll work good on a regular pencil or a colored pencil. So those are the 5 things I have on this list as tools that you don't need every single one of these, but they're good to have when you're starting out. Just the basics. They're the probably least expensive supplies that you can use if you're just getting started out. You just need something to draw on a sheet of paper, put some color down, put some pencil down, whatever the case is. But these are the basic, most bare bone, inexpensive items that you could use if you're just starting out on your art journey. These are the tools, the supplies that I used. and these are the ones I'm sharing with all of you. And these are the exact same supplies that I used in this drawing that you are watching right now. So with that being said, I'm just gonna sit back, relax. You guys can do the same. Watch the rest of the speed drawing, and if you like this video, if you found this list useful, leave a like on this video, subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Instagram or Twitter at my name is Shaun. And I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed the drawing, and I'll catch you all soon.